a team that, in this new economy, do love to buy a lot.
They really do, and I think mostly we'll see it come out on the T side, especially if they aren't able to win that pistol round. But regardless, going to take a step back here still. Excuse me, as I say that, I was looking at the wrong screen. The graphic wasn't updating in-game. They do pick up an AWP on Simple. Upgraded pistols. This is a hyper-aggressive buy. This is a buy that even I can't believe is coming out. Like, we know Navi likes to purchase, but this is almost a level of insanity.
It's got a little bit wild, hasn't it? There's no armor on Simple. They've got no more grenades left, and they've got a couple of pistols even in the play. I mean, this is, yeah, hyper-aggressive. We'll see if it's going to work out or not. Edward up on the high ground here. Going to fall back down with the 5-7, and he's alone. They needed flamie to get the headshot, even if this is some good maneuvering, and actually not bad at all. If he could get one more, and he will. BiG goes down. The 5-7 ringing true right now, and he's hiding inside the smoke. He almost gets the triple. My God, that's a lot of output from Edward in a round where he should have been dead in a couple of seconds there, but the smokes, I think, just confused everybody. Now, retaking the B bomb site is so difficult, even if you have grenades. If you have none and you might risk losing the AWP, I'm not sure it's worth it.
And there's no kit as well, so you can see Simple playing far back with the AWP, waiting to see if his team can create anything. And actually, what they might decide to do here is just lock BiG into the bomb site as much as humanly possible. They might not even go for this now that the bomb's already halfway ticked down, so it's all about taking the weapons away and having these guns to move forward, give them another chance in the next round. And Zeus and Simple in the B halls are positioned perfectly for that.
Yeah, they really want that. They're all going to exit through CT spawn instead. Quite a bit of damage on smooya, but not sure it's going to make a difference. He can still run just far enough away, so it's going to be fine. 3-0 in favor of BiG. Navi lose. Well, they keep the UMP and the AWP, and the rest have pistols, so I guess that's a slight silver lining.
Yeah, they're gonna have enough money since that's just a half investment on those pistols. So this round still, they don't lose a round in terms of their buy, especially with those weapons saved. So go right into a double op setup. They have the M4s, but it's got to be painful to a certain degree, Navi, to invest in that kind of a purchase and then have BiG go away from all the weapons, right? They went away from the op, they went away from the UMP, and went to the bomb set that only had 2 pistols defending it.
That's a nice Molotov to be throwing. That's pretty cool from the Navi side to be able to make sure that you can peek that corner and almost be almost 100% safe unless they push through it, but that's risky on the T side.
Look how aggressive they are behind it as well. Zeus pushing up very, very close, creates a lot of space for the defense to get close up to those long doors. BiG's being pretty quick on making their decisions. As soon as that Molotov comes in, you could see 4 players all the way down to the base of mid. They have control of Catwalk, and Gabi finally swapping out the AWP when he feels safe. This is more the battle for smooya, leading point with the AWP.
Yeah, and against Simple on the other side, I think that's a battle that a lot of people would like to see. Simple, obviously, incredibly fast with that weapon as well. On a map like Dust 2 with flamie on the other one, yeah, this could be interesting. The op battle in the past has decided a lot on this map. They're down to 45 seconds now. Look like they're setting up for a smoke. I'm going to try and see if they can block anyone off there. Zeus, he must have heard that as well, and he's going to win the battle. That's a huge win, taking down tabsen with this UMP. Simple ringing out the AWP. They know that it's over here somewhere, but they still have to challenge it. Don't have a lot of time if they want to run back to the B bomb side. They're going to commit to it as well, and Simple will drop got B. Now it's almost over BiG. 3 versus 5 here, and I can't see them making any kind of a breakthrough.
No, they just didn't have the proper flashbang. Simple barely getting blind, and this is going to be a slaughter. They have to just fall back and stay on Catwalk, save the weapons for the next round. They've been stalled out. There's a good kill into electronik, but another better one from Simple as he swings wide. And then he still has the corner. 8 seconds on the clock, and the bomb actually is going to get planted.
It's better than I was expecting here for the BiG side. 1 bomb planted in, 1 kill so far. They really want to get just a couple more here. It's not going to be possible for next, unfortunately, so good hold from Navi. Giving up the bomb plant is pretty much acceptable at that point, I think.
We need to keep our eye on this Navi defense, because I have a sneaking suspicion they're playing spawn-based for long A to keep control. We know how important that is, but we saw Simple and electronik on the B bomb site on the pistol round. And then we just saw them both playing at the A bomb site. So I'm wondering if just to be able to get to that long corner as quick as possible, they're playing it by spawns. Should be a pretty interesting thing to see.
I mean, if they can keep throwing the same Molotov that they did in this previous round, it's going to be hard for BiG to rush long anyway. I mean, they have to commit to the rush in that case. So they might just want to avoid that. Edward doing it manually, so to speak, just, you know, but last time they actually threw it over the building.
Oh, it looked like they were going to do a very fast mid to B split. Just get out. We see teams pull that out once in a while. That would be intense if they were able to do it, because flamie with an AWP, the only defender at the B bomb site, no one even in middle. Edward has just now rotated over, but he's got to be cautious trying to get this safe angle. Smokes the doors out himself, and he maybe spotted Gabi dropping down. Doesn't want the fight, but has the information.
Yeah, that helps out a little bit here towards the B bomb site. flamie actually a little bit active early on. That could have been the end of smooya, but he's going to live for now. flamie just, that definitely reveals the double up. If they didn't already, they absolutely know now that something is in play. That's the same mid smoke that he's thrown from all the way back here. That's airborne for such a long time.
I think the idea for this is to pull the attention towards middle. Maybe pull flamie or someone out of the B bomb site to help electronik, and then just hit into the B site. No one's actually coming in mid. flamie turns around in time, but he misses the shot. Edward right next to the flames. He's been tagged. He's going to go down eventually. And flamie could just never get involved. Had to overcommit, and an advantage for BiG in the round.
With Tizian, who's controlling middle, they know that no one's coming through dark. Yeah, they're going to pick up the AWP there on Navi and just make the exit. Great execute from BiG. Well done, and even getting the exit frag there and taking down electronik. So one AWP might not, well, probably won't be saved here. Simple has one, so if he can't pick up two, it's going to be a little bit tricky here. That's early on in the game. That's a really nice victory for BiG to have.
It is, but it's still going to be a, I mean, as long as Simple can save this weapon, this is going to be a little bit of a battle. Zeus is wrapping behind them, and great shot from smooya. Out-dueling Simple. And Zeus can do nothing. There is still money on the Navi side because they won that first round so cleanly, just that last round with 4 players surviving. They've got money. Zeus can drop. Simple can have an AWP still.
Wow.
That is a beautiful transfer.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that, but that was really well done. But tabsen is one of those players. I mean, when he shows up, it's always pretty spectacular.
And you could see the impact of that mid to B smoke that Tizian threw. Even though no one came out of mid, it pulled flamie out of the double doors just long enough that when he comes back, there's just no way back in. They already have the angle on him, and if he wants to go through, if he wants to get involved in that B defense, he has to go through a smoke that comes in those doors. So funneled over towards window where we see that beautiful shot from tabsen.
So a bit of a timeout here. We'll see if we can get everything. Gabi's being very animated, isn't he? It's really...
Something about this BiG team is like super weird, I feel, because we've seen them in a number of tournaments, even the ones that they go pretty relatively deep in, where they like face elimination really early on. Like they're a team that just seems to like get to their best level when their back's against the wall.
Yeah.
And that's probably got to be something you want to fix at some point.
Right, because, yeah, well, for obvious reasons.
You can't play every tournament from behind, right?
It is exciting for the fans, Moses, I'm not going to lie. The big fans, they're on the edge of the seat all the time, worrying if their team's going to be out. Facing Navi in one of these matches as well, that has got to be slightly upsetting as well.
I think they're more mad at Navi for dropping or E United for winning. Here's Tizian to lead the way. Zeus can't win that battle, and no one else is that long. They're going to come for a late take. They've got to be careful. smooya has the angle, but that flashbang, that was perfect. That drew him off, and now they just can't do it. They don't know if one had made it to pit, and Edward.
Wow.
He can get so much information. They're playing as a pack. No one has eyes on this.
Got to be careful he doesn't peek too much into middle. Maybe he could have got found out, but yeah, he knows that nobody's over here at least by now. This is pretty good information. They still need to be ready for that B hit if it comes. Edward could still end up finding the wrong timing. Could be off by like 3 seconds here, but he's pretty quick now.
He could. The one escape that BiG really has at the moment is if they go lower B. There's no one with eyes on that. He's going to turn the corner, and he's going to see so much. He has all the information. Electronik coming over, and it's simple to hold him off, and he's doing a great job. The flank might not even matter.
No, I mean, they've got everyone in line here. Edward's still done an amazing job getting this flank in, but it's not even needed at the end. So another one of those rounds that will never show up on Edward's stats, but, you know, in terms of helping out the team, that's a heroic play from him right there. And that box behind, I mean, that all the way at the back of the plateau on B, you've got an AWP back there. It's just so frustrating to try and deal with. The fact that he sort of creeps out to the side. Oh, man.
Because you're obviously pre-aiming for his head to pop back up, right?
You know what happens whenever I try and get rid of somebody back there?
What's that?
I pull out my Molotov and want to throw it, and as soon as I do that, they just shoot me while I have it in my hand. It's so frustrating.
It is a pretty tough box to deal with. It has been historically through all versions of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Here we go. Fast mid to B. Simple with an even faster shot, and even Edward to help hold it off. You can see Simple transfers over to watching into the B tunnels, but the danger of that mid to B split has abated.
And a pretty damn good follow-up grenade there.
There's no one in A, and even Zeus is pushed long. So, I mean, smooya and Tizian don't know it yet, but they could actually get into the bomb site if they just went for the bum rush. And now flamie coming back. That flashbang, the trajectory should give it away. He's got to be careful. Gonna try and hunt him down. He's got a teammate with him. smooya's made it into the site. Gonna go for the plant. They can't stop it. There's time, but actually Tizian plays distraction, and that's gonna allow the bomb to go down. That's well done from BiG.
Yeah, a much better outcome than maybe they could have expected at the beginning of the round. So still, it will be 3 rounds now for Navi, 4 for BiG. I think Navi are feeling pretty confident now that they're starting to grind a little bit back into the game. And honestly, some of these flicks out of Simple, that's the kind of, if you're a big fan here in the elimination match,
you don't want to see those. No, you don't. No,
just try and stay away from that. You were hoping this would be a
the rest of
day.
us, on the other hand, please more.
We love it.
Yeah, we do love it.
7 and 4 right now for Simple, so it's not like he's completely running away with this. 8 kills on tabsen. It's pretty early on in the game, so. But if he can continue to do that, I mean, it's hard to stop him when he's in that mood. Let's see if they got more things planned for us here.
That's a nice nade on a tabsen for a little bit of chip damage. The Molotovs as well, forcing people out, but BiG wants to go for a delayed mid control, and they might have found the timing. It's just Zeus here. Oh, that smoke is going to be heartbreaking, and this is when it gets awkward for BiG, because you're like, oh, we just have to sit here for another 15 seconds, huh?
And while they're doing this, they don't actually have control of upper dark. And people, sometimes on the CT side, people do go and check it, so right now they don't know if anyone has found out that they're all over here. And I mean, eventually when another, 20 seconds passes by, that's going to be uncomfortable a little bit.
Zeus is going to be tested, but flamie's here with him. Going to get smoked out right in his face. Goes for a timing shot. It's a wall of smokes. He doesn't want to come through, but Zeus has the first kill. The follow-up, he would love to win this. Tabsen turns the corner into the smoke. He's trying to chase down flamie, and it's not going to work. That's a bold play. And he might have had a better timing any other point in the game, but Nexus is going to take this duel in towards pit. Zeus somehow still alive, and there's the trades.
Yeah, they actually get in a little bit late. That's kind of incredible. Grenade, almost going to get it there, but not really a lot of damage onto smooya. He takes the fight anyway, and he's going to win it. That's a good shot from Edward. And now, how do they cross this? They don't have any smokes or anything. Well, they've just picked up one, I think, and managed to throw it in. So otherwise, that would have been really difficult to make happen. Bomb maybe going to be going down. Molotov in the back to put a little bit of pressure on Electronik, but he managed to take a couple of steps back, and he's going to be fine for now. Just waiting for that eventual bomb plant. Next is going to be taking down Electronik. The follow-up, no, he couldn't get it done. I thought he had Edward surely then. 7 seconds on the clock, and Goppy going to put the bomb down, but he is in a really tough position, and he's going to get shot right in the face. Edward with the triple. A brilliant round from him, and I don't know. Didn't seem like BiG should have been close even to winning that.
No, they actually did a great job. Obviously, the late flank up catwalk from smooya to take out that one player. That was only a 2-man defense at the A bomb site. That was flamie and Zeus initially, and they did a great job of holding it off. Either way, the plant's going to help out as the losing bonus builds. It's now at 3 rounds that Navi have won in a row. This double up setup is starting to kind of show its strength here.
Yeah, it really is. I think there's a cool moment there where, as you said, Tabsen ran through the smoke to try and get flamie, and you see that was really good communication out of Zeus, right? He would have had to have called that to flamie and said, because I think flamie was actually covering catwalk, so Zeus would have had to have immediately called that out. Leg right onto Tabsen.
Here it comes again. Another mid to B split. He's trying to kind of get the idea why Navi last round stacked this side of the map with 3 players. BiG seems to be leaning on it in a big way.
They're just all going to start to fall back. Maybe because of the leg shot, maybe just because of the grenades that were, sort of thrown out. Not really feeling that much comfort in the middle. Oh, flamie still wins it, but that was a good little dink there. smooya going to be out of this round. Simple. Now they're trying to see if they get a bit closer, but they line up against the wall, and that's a pretty easy shot for him to hit, and he's going to close out the round as well. So no real trouble in this round for Navi. 4 in a row in their favor. They're looking really confident right now.
starting to build up. I think they'd like to have more money in the bank for winning 4 rounds straight, but either way, not going to complain too much.
I would say it's not always easy getting CT rounds on this map. Like this is a map that's actually significantly different for a bunch of reasons from some of the other maps. I mean, one thing is the whole looking through middle thing early on, but it's also just that, on B there are almost no forward positions you can take that you can then fall back into the bomb side. Every other map kind of has that. Think about Top Banana or Inferno, right?
Yeah.
Take a bit of a fight, then you fall back into B. Like, that doesn't really happen on B. You're just there, and if it goes bad, then you lose the bomb side. Grenades into middle as they try and cross with that smoke. Again, a bit of a boost to try and look over. And next is going to take down one, but finally the Flames, Tizian, to drop electronik, so they get into the bomb site. They have the bomb in there as well, but it's a 2-on-3. Let's see if Navi can get in and retake this site.
That's a nice job by electronik. He's standing in the flames, and he knows he's burning. Just that one kill helps Edward out so much, not only to survive, to get one more himself, and Gabi can do a late peek of the window. This would be great to thin the attack, thin out the retake, and Zeus gets legged.
Does the Molotov. It doesn't really do a lot in this scenario. No grenades left on BiG, so when this smoke is gone, we'll see if they can hold it on. It's very near the timer right now, so Navi, they have to speed up. Gabi, he's going to get one kill before he's out, and now it's on tabsen. As you can hear, there's almost no time left, but he doesn't check it, and Zeus is going to get the kill. They do have the kit. Just now they swap it out. Edward's on the bomb, and that was never going to be a good idea, but they will have it in the last second here. It's a really, really good retake. Important there. Edward with another triple kill. And Navi now up to 6.
tabsen going to be kicking himself. He thought someone came in through the door. There's the time that it bought Edward to adjust onto that kill right there. A late one, a flashbang had blinded Gabi. That would have been a brilliant play, but just an unlucky flashbang kept him from taking an earlier shot and maybe building it into a double. 6-4 now for Navi. I think we're going to get a timeout out of BiG. Yes, they've used 2.
Yeah, and I can understand why. I really think this is a map where you can easily end up in a scenario on that CT side where, I mean, one thing is the economy, but you just, you just end up losing every vital position. Hard to hold mid, hard to hold long a lot of the time.
I think a lot of BiG's problems at the moment stem from the fact that they haven't gotten long control. I think these mid to Bs would be way more effective, and we see it so frequently. Like long A on this map is kind of like the mid, where if you control it, it opens up so many other strategies, and they haven't really ever been able to feel comfortable in taking long A. They've had that staunch defense between Zeus and Flamie a couple times.
I'll tell you what, I think it's a technical. I think.
Yeah, the tactical has turned into a technical.
Yeah. Zeus PC crashed. He's taking it.
He's crying.
He's really taking it hardly, isn't it? It's just a.
It's nothing personal, Zeus.
No, we'll get it back online. Don't worry about it.
Why you have to be mad?
I really like a strategy that I don't see very much on this new version of Dust 2, and I can't think of a good reason why. Maybe it is just because it can be tricky taking long, but if you take long on the T side, and you use a smoke for that long corner, and behind that smoke you jump a guy into pit, and then you just leave him there, and everyone falls back, and he's just there alone for another 30, 40 seconds, just waiting, doesn't show himself at all, and then eventually, he's going to stand up and stand peek, and chances are somebody on that CT side will, eventually they'll want to go and peek long, either from all the way up in the A bomb side, or,
just for some information. Yeah.
Just to see what's going on, and then they just, they sort of forget about it in their minds that someone could be there. So I like the idea of having, like, someone who's lurking down there for a long time.
Gain control and kind of leave him there for a little bit.
Yeah, that stuff is fun for me.
There's a lot of moving parts in that, because you do kind of have to like dedicate a number of players to taking long to get him in that position, because you never know how hard the defense is going to be at that corner.
Yeah,
so and like you can't just like kind of say, yeah, let's throw the utility and just get one person to kind of bum rush it, and if he makes it, great.
No, definitely not. And like you need a steady stream of flashbangs to make sure that he doesn't get down in the middle of it.
Those long fights get sketchy. It's one of my least favorite fights in this game.
Yeah,
is trying to get out long as the first person.
It feels great when you.
It feels awesome when you do it.
When you win it, but
yeah.
I feel that it's sort of the same on the CT side, though. I feel like a lot of the time when you die on that long corner on the CT side, you can't even really tell your teammates anything. Like I said, you can't give them much valuable information. It's like, I died long. Well, are they pushing? I don't know. It's like, they could be falling back. They could still be there. It's kind of,
Yeah, you have like nothing to give after, like with the death cam. That extra second doesn't provide you anything.
No, not really. So I don't know. Yeah, Dust 2 it's just a very interesting map, and I think if you try to break it down or analyze why it's so different, I really think a lot of it has to do with like you don't have those pre-bomb site staging areas that exist on almost every other map, think about Mirage. I mean, even on Mirage, it's like a little bit contracted, but on Mirage, let's say catwalk into B is a place that the CTs normally control. If they lose that, they can fall back into the B bomb site, and then there's like a secondary fight going on there. A lot of the time on this map, that almost doesn't happen. On this map, you have pretty much long and catwalk, and that's it.
Should not be meditating?
I don't know, but have you ever tried it?
I haven't actually. Have you?
Yeah.
You strike me as the kind of guy who would meditate.
Yeah, I used to think for the longest time that it was really stupid, and then and then I've
you read some articles, you listen to some podcasts.
No, I've just been wrong so much in my life, Moses, that I've started to question everything, and I thought, you know what, let's go back to the basics.
That's fair.
But it's a worthwhile experience. I feel like if you get it right, it's very, very tricky.
What's the longest you've done meditating?
I mean, successfully. Like,
what determines a successful meditation?
Like, you get into like a sort of a. I would say I've maybe hit like a good 20 seconds of being like in a reasonable state, but you confuse yourself as soon as you get it. You're like, oh, I did it, and then it doesn't really.
And then you jerk yourself out.
That's exactly right. Well,
6-4 as the technical pause comes to an end, and no more meditating for Anders or Gabi.
No.
Simple's gonna switch things up, take an aggressive angle, perhaps over the flames, waiting for them to subside. For the vision, he gets the leg shot. Actually, he gets plenty more than that. Almost through the door into the chest. Tizian down to 1 HP. So, yeah, he's gonna be watching the flank.
1 health is plenty, Moses. It's gotta avoid getting shot for the remaining of the half. But you know what? He does that all the time.
Well, almost failed it there. Getting closer. This time, Navi decides to cheat flamie over into CT spawn towards that A bomb site. They know they've been able to stop the mid to B split, so maybe thinking BiG isn't going to go back to it quite yet. 5 rounds remaining for BiG to get something on the board. There's tabsen opening kill onto Simple. That's a great find around the edge of the smoke.
Really well done, and any time you can get rid of Simple in one of these fights, you know you've done a good job. tabsen will go down to flamie, though, unfortunately. It's a pretty good angle for flamie. All the way over, and yeah, upper dark. Edward is sneaking out. That's giving him, once again, so much information. He was the one sneaking out through middle, remember, earlier, so just the idea of Edward being the aggressive one, sort of lurking behind, is great. They do, for a minute, lose control of the bomb, but it's a 2-on-3. But Edward's still sneaking in here. Smooya, if he dies, the bomb is going to be dropped on the catwalk. 20 seconds. I don't think they can recover it right now. This is going to take such a long time to get up here. And Edward can just sort of wait for time. They kind of know it now as well. BiG panic is at an all-time high with 10 seconds left. And yeah, flamie will close it out. But again, Edward, that's 2 rounds where like he gets 1 kill this round. And again, that won't do so much in the score. But he's still at 12-4. But both those rounds, he could have had doubles, triples. Big win for Edward.
Edward's having himself a great game. He had a triple kill on the mid to B split. He's been instrumental in making sure that that kind of a play call has, the damage from it has been minimal. The huge flank coming up catwalk and being able to wrap around, pass information on that it's going to be a B hit, and then just there closing out on smooya with the bomb on catwalk, making it essentially unobtainable. He's been great for Navi in this one. flamie going to get a chance for some target practice. Pop flash over, I would imagine, so they can bomb rush, but there's an AK close up there. Simple with the peek, finds one through the door. flamie's down behind him, and he's still fighting. And tabsen mistimes the flashbang, and the reload comes in time, but Gabi has gotten the angle already. But as much success and as much of a fight that is, Navi does close the door on that idea.
Simple could have definitely lived through that fight in the middle, but he didn't want to reload, so he wanted to sort of single tap away the last couple of bullets. Or, he could have just fallen back and reloaded. I think that's just one of those simple things, isn't it?
He had that sick ace in the pug game, in the pro pug games last night, like a 1 versus 5 where he's just one tapping 3 people.
Why is he playing pro pug games at tournaments, Moses?
He is a freak. Maniac, the amount that he plays. Yeah, well, he gave that interview where they were just like, how are you this consistent? And he's just like, well, you just have to play a lot.
Yeah. It turns out the secret was hard work all along. I wish someone would have told me earlier in life. I could have really benefited from that kind of advice.
Did not see that coming.
Just didn't.
Here we go, close up. So much utility spent on Simple in middle, and it's done nothing. He's still here, and Edward, he's just gotten around the corner. Covering fire for himself, and he's got to be careful. He's running out of bullets now. He's got to drop the Molotov, but it's right into the smoke. That's not ideal. He's got to reload. Surely he goes down here, but they haven't turned the corner. That smoke, somehow it's kept him alive, and he could do way more damage. smooya has no idea. Communication not coming in, and that's frustrating. And they've used all their utility.
He lived for an extra 10 seconds inside of that smoke. That's really ridiculous. The bomb is now on the site, and they have to cross without being able to put up a smoke here. So they're going to try and run push that way over. That's actually kind of a genius way to improvise there if you're big, and you need this round. Bomb once again down. This is starting to become a really big problem now. 2-on-2. They've got all the time in the world, but they wanted that bomb plant 20 seconds ago, and it's just been so delayed. One more kill for Zeus, and that leaves tabsen. 1 versus 2. He's going to try and go aggressive here. Takes the fight, already pre-firing into the window, and Zeus will close it out instead with a triple kill. That is going to be so annoying right here. If you're big, you needed that round. You probably almost had it, and it all got taken away.
Again, Edward all day long. That delay, his ability to survive and even get 2 kills out of it is incredible. And I'm not sure the communication from BiG just screws up. smooya gets a kill, gets into the bomb site, and just doesn't even realize Edward is still there. They just seemed so lost by his position. And Zeus with some critical kills as well down the stretch. BiG's on tilt.
They need more meditation. need
meditation timeout.
Yeah, good 5 minutes.
All right,
see if they could do that. Edward going to be out of the round this time. That's a great shot from tabsen. Challenged the flames, came out on top, and he probably should have been dead then. I don't know what Zeus is doing.
Yeah, he like tried to transfer his spray super early. Either way, the rest of Navi trying to you know, maybe take some liberties at the other side of the map. Seems like they've been very aware of the kind of a more grouped up style that BiG has brought out here. Not so much of a default, but when you have 3-4 players grouped together and just one player elsewhere, it leaves a lot of opportunities to get flanks and push up, and now they have the read. Electronik and Simple both coming over. Simple, if he can get into the bomb site quick enough with this AWP, have the angle with Electronik here as well, this is going to be so tough.
Re-smoke right on top of them, in fact. Now they hear that Molotov going in deep. Simple going to be forced out slightly. But Electronik playing close. I mean, if they don't check the corner well enough, that's going to end badly. 50 seconds, making his way up a dark as well. The last player in Zeus. He's almost flanking them, but losing both Electronik and Simple. That's a great double kill for smooya. Opening up the bomb site. And now Zeus, can he be there just in time? If the bomb goes down, that's a problem. And he's going to drop. Does get the kill in the end, but still another round for BiG, 5-9.
I thought for sure Simple Electronik would have been able to hold it off a little bit longer for that flank to come to fruition. And again, these flanks terrorizing BiG. smooya with 1 and he turns. That's a great shot onto Simple. Immediate. Last round of the first half, Navi up 9-5. Double op setup coming out, and to make that strategy happen, Electronik's got to be relegated to his CZ. 1 kit on this Simple, and here goes Gabi. Not going to slow down, not going to stop whatsoever. Electronik has rotated over. He'll have eyes on it. Oh, and Gabi gives up the angle. I don't think Electronik saw that or knew it was coming. But that shot's going to give away the game.
Yeah, that's actually a great move, isn't it? Just the fact that almost never in any rounds you can encounter someone that early on in middle. So I like the idea. It's a bit of a shame that they couldn't get more out of it than the 25 damage there on Electronik. Zeus gonna win the fight. I feel like Zeus been doing a pretty good job down there. Picking up kills left and right. Simple standing up. Gabi never stood a chance there. The follow-up grenade actually lands right on tabsen. They're in trouble in this round. BiG, they might end up 10-5. I think Navi are going to be celebrating that kind of a first half. Simple, here's the drop. He's got the idea anyway. tabsen just sneaking up close, and actually might be nobody covering this. He wasn't aware. I thought he looked like he was tracking that through the wall a little bit. Electronik going to be taking down next, and Zeus to close out the round. 10-5 in favor of Navi. Yeah, I think that's a really good job.
Especially because they had a little bit of a rough start. They lost, they only won 1 round in the first 5 of this half, and that recovery from Navi is great. A huge run right in the middle stretch. We're going to go to a break. Great play from Edward. We'll see if it continues in the second half. that AWP. It was a 9-1 run in the last 10 rounds of that first half to power Navi to this big lead that they have over BiG.
Yes.
tabsen is here on catwalk, pushing up, trying to get some information in top middle.
I quite like this move from tabsen. I mean, it surely is risky, and you can tell that he's just taking the fight. He knows he's been spotted. He kind of knows they're down there anyway. This is pretty bold out of tabsen, and he actually gets the reward for it, taking down Edward. My God.
I mean, that's really cool how he uses the crouch to make sure he can always isolate 1v1s, and they're going to continue with the aggression. The smoke giving protection from catwalk. Godby and smooya getting aggressive. Godby on cat, smooya in upper dark, and I think this is pretty much all over, although Godby not getting the communication that it's all cleared out. And yeah, all you have left to do is come through the smoke to the slaughter, and Zeus has been great, but I don't think he's been great enough to win this. BiG with a statement in the second half pistol round. That now makes them 4 for 4 on the event.
Yeah, you are right indeed.
And they've had a 100% job of successfully winning the second round as well.
So they should be winning a lot. And yet things are looking a bit rough. Yeah, I don't know. I think at this stage you've got to think with the new economy it takes more than that now. Like that, the factor of winning those pistols has definitely been reduced. And that's a lot of SMGs.
And I mean, they also know that no kills come out for Navi, so there's no way that Navi can actually afford to drop the AK-47, do that kind of signature rifle drop with pistols around it. So yeah, go for the SMG, so that's not the fight you want to be taking with it.
No, that was very long range.
Yeah, that was a bit awkward.
Optimistic on the part of smooya.
It's a glass half full kind of guy, Anders.
Yeah, exactly right. We'll see. Do have a bit of a grouping of Navi players in the middle. Godby here with the Orc. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be used, Moses.
Godby gonna show us the way.
Yeah?
Who else in the Godfather?
Oh, tabsen, this is dangerous. He's gonna win the fight against electronik. No head armor, so clearing it up really nicely. He's low on health, but he still wants to take the fight. And tabsen is really stepping up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's had a pretty blistering start to this first half. I think that's 5 kills in those opening 2 rounds, and once they get his team back into it, he's done a great job. Here comes the buy next. AKs are out for the Navi side. I think there's plenty of SMGs left on the BiG defense. 3 of them to be exact heading into this round. The AUG on Godby, the M4 on smooya. They know the buy is coming, and they are all geared up.
18th round here. See if Navi can pick it up early on. That's a great push to the top of mid here from tabsen. Flashbang to set up the push. Actually, no one gets flashed, but they're still not quite aware of it. That's horrendous. Now the Deagle to follow it up. He's so aggressive every single time. smooya falling back into lower dark, and not for that smoke, he probably would have been dead. And now instead, backup is there with Tizian, and I think Navi are going to be really frustrated this round.
They're going to be very confused as well, because it's almost like BiG has just opened this up playing an offensive side on their defense. That's a lot of hyper-aggression in all 3 rounds. And yeah, that flashbang at top mid usually signals someone's going to push, but the reaction wasn't quick enough for Navi. That's a good spam, a lot of damage on towards Nex. Simple and Zeus need to take weapons away. BiG is on the verge of a huge win here that can allow them to free upgrades into the AK-47s, into the rifles, and Nex at some point is going to push out long. He's already out now. They know where Simple is. That's a good kill to find. I don't think there's a chance of him winning this. He's so boxed in from so many different angles. Even one player pushing up towards T-spawn from the B halls. Simple gonna get one more beautiful shot.
Now down to 18, and yeah, completely oh man. That was the most
he had the read though, didn't he?
Yeah,
he had the read from behind him.
He knew. I just feel like it could have been more exciting, you know, than him stepping in a grenade, but still.
Certainly.
10 to 8. Good early rounds here from BiG. Another Orc has been picked up. They must know what they're doing, Moses.
They've gone crazy. They've lost the plot. AUG on Nex, AUG on Godby, and we are having a timeout out of Navi, the first that they've used. Because you do have to have the conversation now, like this unrelenting aggression. 3 rounds in a row to start out this second half from BiG. They've opened up both halves with a 3-0 lead. I think Navi has to have that conversation of, you know, how do we want to stop all this aggression? How do we want to put them back in their place so that they won't just be so confident to push up everywhere on the map?
I really love the idea of tabsen as a player that just, you know, just when you think, you know what, that's a lot of aggression, tabsen, he's like, yeah, but I'll just double up on that.
Yeah.
Just do it even more.
You ever think maybe it's not enough?
Yeah, like, he gets this kill. Like, now you say, fall back, you've got it. Like, he's like, no, I just got the deagle. I'm just going to continue to go.
I think he thought he did more damage with the SMG to simple, and that's why he goes back with the deagle. I thought he might have, maybe thinks it would have taken just one deagle bullet to kind of win that fight.
Probably,
Not to be the case.
Still, I say, I want to see that. It's exciting to watch, you know. Now, upgraded pistols. Some scattered Kevlar there on the Navi side. They've survived maybe a bit of a fight. But BiG are having a better start to this second half than I was expecting. This makes the game a lot more interesting.
Me as well, because they did seem to fall flat a lot of times in that first half. Once Navi got the kind of momentum, and I mean, guess the plan here for BiG is make sure they don't relinquish their own kind of success, because they need to keep doing better, especially early on. Look, tabsen, Nex, and smooya all very low in terms of their money. This should and needs to be a clean win to make them feel secure going forward into the middle portion of this half.
See if they could get the bomb plant and maybe a couple of kills. At least this would be one of those rounds where, you know, you got something out of it. You walked away with a bit of a victory. Otherwise, it's going to look a little bit strange. They keep getting hauled back by all those grenades that are landing in front. Let's see what they end up doing. Can he make the jump down? He's going to be at least in CT spawn with the smoke covering him from behind. So he's not going to find anyone there, but that might be a bit of a distraction for BiG. Not quite sure what's going on at the moment as they're defending this B bomb site. Timing is everything in this, and flamie, that's a great headshot. smooya might get shot in the back any second. He's going to pick up a kill and fall back to the low ground, and he did a pretty good job then, but it wasn't quite enough. The bomb will still go down. Now, can they I mean, they can probably retake this, but they're low on health as well, at least one of them, so they're going to be very careful. Smoke grenade, oh, sorry, Molotov there on Nex.
Oh, he's picked up the M4 simple. And this is the tough one, and that's exactly why Gabi has the lineup, just not ready for the quick peek. I don't think Nex can do anything. 40 HP on him. Edward is just going to play the door, and as soon as Nex comes through, but the Molotov burning simple into the open, and it's all on Edward. Low HP. Nex is reading the play. He knows exactly what's coming, but he has to get on the bomb. Kit in hand, he taps it. Edward making his move through window. That is outsmarting your opponent. Edward, not the HP to take a fight, still able to complete the clutch.
I think Simple thought that he could run into the corner and be safe. And so he's like, he
spread
did
a little bit.
Yeah, he did that, and he was like, no. It's also a fire here. It's not good. 11-8. That is a pretty big win for Navi, considering how that had actually played out.
I actually thought that those last two Navi players were just going to get aggressive on that player in middle when they saw the flank coming in. But,
yeah.
I mean, you know, Simple just said, I'll take the fight and win it. That does make things easier.
One of the many luxuries of the Navi team.
Having the best player in the world on your team.
Yeah.
Big win with a force buy though. Tech 9s, Deagles. Good to see the Tech 9 back in action.
We've missed it a little bit.
A little bit.
Just every once in a while is enough, you know. The timing is pretty good. Headshot would have been better for smooya, but tagged up Simple a little bit, so.
I was going to say, maybe Simple a little frustrated. He was scoped in on that exact peak, and just the second he unscopes.
Yeah, it's a Counter-Strike classic, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Coming through the smoke, though. flamie, that's a bit risky coming through your own smoke, but he's going to mow down two before being dropped, and this is just pistols for the BiG side. That low economy we touched on just a couple of rounds ago, finally coming back to haunt them. And I'm not even sure if they're going to have, you know, I think they're going to buy no matter what. Gabi can drop one. Tizzy and a Nex can buy. And now I think at this point, maybe they'd want to save more if it was a little bit closer, but being down 4 rounds, 8-12, you kind of have to start fighting.
It's shocking. I mean, Edward is at top of the scoreboard with 19 and 9. That's already incredible. But think about all those rounds, like the one that he just had the clutch in the last round. He's had so many rounds where he's been almost the, yeah, I mean, he's got to be the MVP of this map for sure, almost no matter what happens here.
It's a pretty complete game from Edward. He's had, not only is he high on the kill count in terms of statistics, but he's had great impact just by the eye test. So BiG pull out the Navi Classical we saw them do in the first half, and Op is dropped over from Gabi to smooya, and they half buy around that. So it's a nice middle ground of being able to put up a fight while also playing conservative with the economy for the later stages of this game. They just have to find a way to get there.
smooya with that AWP. It's not always easy being aggressive on CT side dust too. I mean, and the downside of waiting around over as long as they are now is that if nobody shows up, then
think they're okay with that though. I think they just want to be aggressive together to get that op, maybe to ring out and get a couple kills to even things up. But if they don't go to this A bomb site, BiG likely just kind of saves everything. They're going to need that op in the next round, and they'll be able to have a full buy around it, especially if a lot of this armor comes forward for the other players. So it's not the worst idea strategically from BiG, and unfortunately I think that's what's going to have to happen, turning into a mid to B split for Navi as Zeus comes out mid, and it's just Tizian with a Deagle Blaze.
First shot would have had to have connected there. I mean, otherwise they were going to be on him. And now Zeus just turns into someone holding in the middle instead.
smooya needs to get back. He just took some shots, but he was being aggressive, maybe trying to find some players retreating. Electronik already circling around through T-spawn, and actually, you could see Navi can take their time getting that bomb plant, because they have so much time to go chase after this if they choose to. BiG equally has plenty of time to get pretty situated out towards long to make this as safe as humanly possible. It's still going to be tough if Navi decides to kind of pick up the pace and really, really commit to the hunt.
Yeah, they could maybe, I mean, they could give it a shot, right? But you don't want to throw everybody over at long here and lose 3 or 4 players. That's probably not going to be worth it, even when you have a pretty sizable lead.
Yeah, they're having the same thoughts as you at the moment. And you can see them kind of probing up catwalk, but no one kind of meeting up with Electronik out towards long. They know they're kind of boxed in more than likely around this pit. Just no point throwing yourselves at it. So BiG survive with 3. It's going to be a pretty healthy buy out of them. But Navi with a commanding lead down the stretch of this opening map.
Yeah, hard to deal with. It's already difficult when you're playing Navi when Simple and Electronik are playing well. Right now, Edwards is playing better than both of them, and Zeus is playing really well. Like this is kind of an unusual performance from Navi in some senses. But
this is the kind of performance that makes you a little bit scared to play against Navi in the tournaments.
I really think so. That's an annoying grenade if you're Simple. Good follow-up from Goppy. It's time with the M4A1.
You see a lot of oppers are willing to stand in the flames, but what that nade does is, I mean, you could see Simple in his screen just starting to move back already because he realizes he can't hang out in the flames as long as he would usually like because of the nade damage. So a good opening find for BiG, and then follow-up onto Zeus from tabsen, and he gets a second one. That's both players out towards long inside of a smoke, maybe a bit lucky from his POV, but he's got BiG in a good lead. They're down low, Nex and tabsen.
And I don't know what they do right now, Navi. I mean,
kills.
Yeah, just kills. See if they can maybe group up somewhere and just trade a couple back and forths. Especially now that tabsen's picked up the AWP that Simple had, so they could save 2 of them into the next round. That's a pretty big win for the CT side. We put them at 9-13. So that, I mean, they're not out of this map yet. I just feel like Navi are looking scary at the moment. Let's see what they can do right here. Sneaking out through the middle is Electronik. flamie taking a look at catwalk, and yeah, they are going to group up. I think that's the most sensible choice.
They didn't have a smoke if they wanted to do the mid to B. Maybe thinking if they can get out catwalk, get into the bomb site, at least get a plant out of things. tabsen's low at car. Nex is here as well. Neither of those players want to be too committed. This op is the real danger portion. There's the first shot. That one's easy. Molotov, he's going to go down. Ooh, no, he's not. He gets both kills and escapes the flames and screams his head off in the tournament area.
I mean, for good reason. He should be feeling fired up right now. There's 22 kills, I believe, on tabsen.
Leading the server, actually.
Yeah, that's incredible. 13-9. That's good timing. I don't know what Zeus or Edward could have done about that, really. Hard to flash someone who's in that position, so Electronik gonna make us jump past everybody's blind over at long, and looks like Goppy wants to retreat. Almost got caught there, but he's gonna make it back, and now they have at least long control, Navi. This is something that BiG weren't really good at doing, as you mentioned on that first half.
The nice thing is because tabsen's playing on catwalk with control, Goppy can get boosted up and go meet up with him. You want to have control of one of those, either catwalk or long.
Yeah.
And at the moment, tabsen peering over the smoke. This is a bit cheeky. There's a time limit on it. When that smoke fades, Simple will be able to spot him, and you could see tabsen kind of giving up the aggressive angle and falling away. As that smoke fades as well, Simple goes for the peek, and there's smooya right over the barrels. Electronik turning the corner dry. And they're holding him back. Another good follow-up nade, and smooya can be, relatively safe here because he knows his teammates have control of catwalk.
feel like she'll mention that catwalk control now. Definitely becoming an issue for the Navi team. They want to see if they can crunch this, but there's like 2 or 3 people that they have to win a fight against first before they can think about pushing up with that bomb on long. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. They're going to try and run boost through the smoke. Simple's on top. He's looking for somebody, yeah, to see if they could boost, but maybe they would actually try and run for it. Looked like that with the jump. Instead, they're down on the low ground. Instead, 27 seconds. They need to push right about now, or they're simply going to run. Oh, tabsen shutting him down, and Goppy with the follow-up headshot. 2 for 1.
Even smooya was there. Big had complete control of that situation every step of the way, and Navi had just run out of utility to make any kinds of those plays. One flashbang would have been great, but they used it all to get that small amount of control. So offense from Navi stalling out these past few rounds as Big plant their feet. All 5 players survive for the defense, and that's got to make you feel much better. Now you can start smiling and laughing a little bit because you got a buffer in terms of your economy as you start to close the gap in the score. Great shot from tabsen holding the angle. Simple waiting for flamie to come up so they could go for the trade, and instead it's a double.
That good old Fox position, Moses, named after Dozier's brother from way, way, way back in the day.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Is that what it's called? Fox position?
I don't know if it is anymore, Moses. It was at one point.
I mean, if we're going to go that far back, you know, back platform and B is K-sharp spot.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. 13 to 10. So Big sort of, you know, putting on a show here, showing us that they could do more than just win the pistols in the follow-up rounds.
But again, it's just like why, you know, this Big team seems like it's switched on. I mentioned it in the context of tournaments overall, but you know, backs against the wall and you finally start playing. You're about to be eliminated in the tournament with 13 to 8 in this map, and now we're starting to see some good things. And they're like the Seabiscuit of Counter-Strike.
The Seabiscuit of Counter-Strike.
A little bit of a equestrian trivia for you.
I have no idea what that means.
Okay.
And I don't like horses, so.
That's a good point. I forgot you don't like horses. That is funny to me, though.
Yeah?
Because it's not that you don't like them, it's that you're actually scared of them.
They tried to kill me. Wouldn't you be?
I mean, you probably did do something to deserve it.
Blaming the victim, Moses. I just can't even believe it. Round number 24. I actually thought Navi were going to run away with this a little bit quickly here on the T side. I thought it was going to be slightly more smooth sailing for them, and that hasn't really been the case, even when they got long control that one round. So we'll see if they can make it happen. A classic on this map that B were executing a lot when they were on the T side. So obviously that mid to B split. So maybe that's something that we could see out of Navi if they feel like they have the control for it. They've cleared out catwalk, which is kind of like, it's the one thing you pretty much have to do if you want to split B.
They have, Navi has been playing a much slower style, almost pick-based, and I guess when you have Simple with the AWP, why not kind of go for that bit of a play, but it hasn't kind of worked out too much for him yet. smooya's got to be careful. This is a dirty nerd angle from flamie, and it's going to yield results.
Yeah, he's been up in the early hours, hasn't he? Just 3 in the morning, trying to figure out how to time someone there.
Campers.
Campers. Oh, that's a label that we somehow got rid of in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, we're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
Gonna reclaim that. Zeus kind of perched up, waiting for the rotation, and ooh, it comes in right at the end, right as that smoke comes through. Nice peek from Nex. No one is going to be coming out mid, but Gabi and Nex might be held back. Edward's going to run into some trouble, but Tizian's got to hold off this B bomb site. He's got to delay as much as possible. Edward goes down in mid. Now Navi, they have to go. The rotation is on, it's here, and they don't check. They don't check for Tizian, and he's going to be able to get one, and now all the forces pushing through. There's no time on the clock. Navi cannot afford this battle, and they've already lost the round, and oh, they need to die. They're not going to. They're going to die after the clock. Everyone's going to rush in, and that's huge. What a great play from Big. Smart call to pause the retake until time runs out, and they take all the money away. flamie and electronik, $350 and $600 in the bank.
That's a problem right there. That catapult Big, at least with a couple of rounds here, back into the game. I can't believe it. They didn't check the corner. They had 10 seconds, and as soon as that bomb went down, there was no recovery at all. Scout picked up on Simple, but honestly, this is a promising comeback for the most.
Edward. John Travolta would be jealous.
Yeah, I think if they had think you get your face blown off, Moses. You can't then put it.
It's not the technology they used in the movie.
I really know. I seem to remember it was a little bit more detailed than that. You
A
know,
little bit more like laser focused,
Yeah, that's
precise.
it is an absolutely ridiculous movie premise. By
It's
the way.
it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love that movie. You'll never be able to convince me otherwise.
No, and it's fine, but I'm just saying, you know. Someone had to have read that on a manuscript the first time around and thought, you know what, we're gonna do this.
No, I mean more importantly, they said the only way this movie is possible to be made is with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He's the only actor that could pull this off.
Fair play to them then. I think they were right about that. Flamie, they really want that run boost. See if they could do no. Oh.
I love it when that happens.
Have you ever played Lemmings back in the day, Moses, when you had to like build bridges, and if you weren't quick enough, then
The Lemmings would just run off the edge.
you just fall off and die? I felt like that was that kind of situation right there. They needed that bricklayer lemming that could like. It might only be like 1% of the audience that know what we're talking about, but.
I never played that game. I don't even know you're talking about. I'm just letting you have your nostalgia.
You've never played Lemmings?
No.
I can't believe it.
Did Electronik have like duct tape in the corner of his mouse pad? Thought I saw that.
That could be.
Either way, I mean, 13 to 12. Big's caught back up. Here we go. You love to see this. Maybe Flamie's not the standard run booster. Maybe that's not the duo that usually does it.
I felt like was he the guy who was on bottom in that one, or was he the guy on top?
Flamie was on top.
I feel like whoever's on bottom.
Whose responsibility is it?
It's got to be. I don't know. I feel like if we get the replay, I wonder if the guy on bottom just
Stopped.
Yeah, said it's just a prank. Just
Fooled you.
oh man.
Here
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, freeze time coming to an end. What's more heartbreaking is look at the buy. This comes down to Big punishing Navi for not going and dying in that previous round on the B bomb site. Flamie and Electronik, the two players who had been killed after the time, stuck on pistols. 4 players going to group up in upper dark. Edward already coming out mid, and he's going to lose that fight. That's one of the rifles. You can't salvage that either. That's in the middle of nowhere, and they've just got to come through the smoke, but holding down the trigger is Tizian. He's got a headshot, and Navi is being held back. These past few rounds, Navi has gained absolutely nothing.
Good job on Tizian just holding his cool in that scenario. That could have been a little bit ugly. 4 versus 3 now. Next, putting some bullets through the middle without connecting with anyone. They're going to rush towards the A bomb site. They might be able to get a quick bomb plant here, and then the retake. I mean, it's the A bomb site. You can absolutely retake it. The bomb sites are so different on this map that usually B is really tricky, but A, you can do it. That's Molotov, for one thing, is going to force them out quite a bit. Gonna have to move around a little bit. Simple taking a tiny bit of damage, but see they're in scary position, and zeus kind of losing his mind a little bit and just jumping down into middle, gets taken out by smooya. I can't even explain that. Electronik now gonna try and see if he can hold it back. Simple goes down. The org reigns supreme. Next with the triple, and now they're going to tie it up 13-13.
This is unbelievable. This comeback from Big has been great. Navi running out of steam here, and they're not finding any of the entrances. Big isn't offering them any mistakes getting into these sites. Flashbangs raining over as well, and you're right, those Molotovs that come into the bomb site just prevent Navi from getting in any kind of safe positions.
What was zeus doing in that?
I don't know. Listen, there are some things that even I can't explain.
Because he's been playing a good game, I feel like, you know, just...
Also, it feels like seeing him getting a little bit more frustrated as we've gone on in some of these timeouts.
Yeah.
A little bit more expressive.
He wanted to make that hero play, didn't he?
Yeah.
So they won't expect me to come flying.
They won't expect the silliest thing. There is some truth in that.
It works some of the time, just not that time. 27th round. Edward. Late take, a little bit late take here of Long. Oh, he won that fight. I thought he was dead.
And it's so great. Look at the timing in which he takes it. When the Molotov comes in towards the choke point, towards those double doors, he knows if there's anyone outside of the doors, he's got them isolated. No chance for support. So fair play on the fight selection. And this is the thing. It seems like Navi doesn't necessarily have a plan B. I mean, again, that's another kill that comes out that's not traded. This is a timing there. But you haven't really been proactive on the other sides of the map, so you don't really know what you're going up against. So everyone on the map just seems to be waiting for whose turn it is next to try and make a play. Molotov is going to keep zeus forward. Gabi, there's the peek, and he's going to win that fight as well. A flashbang even came over for him. Didn't do anything, but he didn't need it. Those
are two really massive fights for Gabi to be winning over at Long. And at least for some of the time in this team, he was considered kind of a weak link in the fragging sense of things. Obviously, tactically, I would say he's maybe one of the best in the world, but it's always an issue if you can't follow it up. And this game, he's playing really well.
Yeah, he's picked up his fragging. He's picked up in that department, certainly these past few months. He's been actually great. And then every once in a while, we see him have one of those games where he's just a hard carry, both tactically and in terms of fragging. I guess Simple would like to try and save this weapon, but he's not going to.
No, it's time to at least make sure you die. Just don't die after the timer. Yeah, he needs to try and run for it soon. Yeah, they're going to get him. Scott B again. Triple for him. They have the lead now, 14-13. This is a sizable comeback.
It says 6 rounds in a row for BiG to take this lead. It was 13-8.
Round number 28 coming up. Double orc still in play. Money looking fantastic at the moment for that CT side.
This might be one of the quietest 30-kill games from tabsen I've seen in a long time. Like, it is one of those games where you hit tab, like, you know he's doing good. You hit tab and you're like, oh god, he's got 29 kills.
Yeah, and he hasn't been overly aggressive for a couple of rounds, right? Because before that we were
start of the half.
Yeah, we were excited, but you're right. He snuck up there. Oh, that was a bit of a mind game trying to be played there by Navi, but it doesn't really work out that way. Still, it's a good attempt. Let's see if they can.
Some of these buys down the stretch as well, Navi just hasn't had utility to really go very deep into the playbook. Like, you're not even able to have utility to go for some kind of full execute. We haven't seen them trying to those typical ones towards the A bomb site with a player dropping down and you swinging wide on the site. And then anything along those lines in smooya, I mean, they're just straight up ignoring these B hulls, which is a little bit bold, but it's going to be the right call. And Navi has nothing. These smokes are about to disappear, and they have 1 flash left. And they've gained no ground. They've found no kills. They haven't even found a good fight. And they just seem lost now, which is a shame down the stretch of what should be a very good match. It's kind of falling flat because Navi just doesn't seem to have a great idea.
I mean, Simple, he wins that fight. He actually gets the follow-up, and he's going to go just 1 step back into the flames.
He's dancing.
He shouldn't have got the follow-up kill, I think. I mean, that seemed even like that was a stretch. Now it's on Edward, who's saved Navi a bunch of times, but this time he's dead before he touches the ground. 15-13. BiG are celebrating already. I think you can hear them across the hall here, and I can't really blame them.
No,
I thought they were out of this one.
I was going to say, you can kind of feel it when the team just seems lost, and at the moment I think they can tell. The only reason he wins this is obviously because of the AWP. And yeah, just one little sidestep, one do-si-do.
You hate to see it. 3 health. Now playing for overtime instead, and smooya maybe giving them a ticket to make it there.
Perhaps. That's a good opportunity now for Navi that's going to open up and thin out the defense. But again, no utility. There's 1 Molotov on Zeus. That's all they have to work with. And now he's going to swap out. He wants the AWP, but it's a little bit of a nerve-wracking scenario, and he just gets confused. Great job from Simple. Why not have him pick up the pace? And Tizian not looking the right direction. They're into the B bomb site, and I think BiG, I was going to say they might have to consider saving, but tabsen's going to be at 16K after this round. They will get the bomb planted. It's going to be a tough retake. And I guess you have the money to go for it, so why not see what at least Next can get?
Yeah, worst that can happen is you give them the org, and they might not even want it, Moses. Flashbang to set up. That's really quick. Next taking down Edward. Not done fighting yet. Electronic crouching here in the back by the car, and they're both pretty much trained on that window. Flamie going to be taking down Gobby, and now Next, I mean...
Grab the op and run. Don't go for this. He's going to go for the leg shot. Hold your breath. He's even pre-firing at the right angle, but he has no idea. Electronik is playing this so smart. There's the cleanup. Navi still alive in this game.
Did he... I think he wanted to pull out the smoke, and he got the HE instead. I thought everyone in 2018 has a button for smokes.
Not everyone.
Don't you?
I don't.
So you what? You click through them one at a time? What if you need to throw a fast smoke, Moses, and you have all the grenades?
I'm that good.
Yeah.
I don't play competitively, so it's fine.
All right. Retirement kind of Counter-Strike.
Retirement's been treating me real well. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, man. Gobby going to be taking down Zeus. Another fight being won down here by the leader of BiG. And Navi aren't there yet. 1 more round for overtime. And this kind of rush out long could cost them a little bit.
Going at the players Been fragging the most in the game as well. Tabsen with the op situated in this A bomb side. They have nothing to blind him, nothing to flush him out, and that's too easy. Simple trying to be sneaky, walking along the wall, and Tabsen, he's always ready, goes back for more, and flamie comes so close to completing the kill, and I think they're going to come so close to making this comeback happen, but Navi